Good morning. Today I'm going to need you to find page 311 in your squirrel book. 311. Okay, you're going to tear that out of your book. And then you're also going to need page 313. You don't need to tear this one out. It's going to stay in your book. You can tear it out if you want to, but you don't need to. Okay, so tear out your reader. And then we're going to fold it. So this is the front. I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to fold it until it reaches this black line. I'm not going to take it all the way because that's not the center that's not the line. So I'm going to match it up there. I put my hand here and then I press. Okay, so that gives me my reader. So yesterday we started talking about traditions. Traditions, right? And I told you traditions are customs or beliefs that are passed down from generation to generation. What does that mean? There are things that we do or things that we believe that get passed down in your family or outside of your family from generation to generation means like from your grandma to your mom to you, or from your grandpa to your dad to you. So I gave you an example of on Easter, my family used to go to Lake Casitas every year. That was our tradition. That's something that we would do. So today we're going to read Sue's Surprise. And Sue is going to teach us about one tradition in her life as well. And then after, we're going to be filling out our paper, and it says, reread Sue's Surprise. Match every story clue to the picture it tells about. And then question number 4 says, what is the theme? Remember, theme is the lesson or the message that we learn from the story. Kind of like the purpose. What's the purpose? What's the message? What's the lesson we're learning from the story? And this is usually a lesson that can apply to everybody. Okay? We're going to read this a couple of times. The first time that we read it, I want you to circle any words that you have a hard time with because you're going to be reading it with me. Okay? So any words that you are having trouble reading on your own, I want you to circle them. Okay? Circle the words that you have a hard time reading on your own. Ready? Okay. Our story is Sue's Surprise. Sue's Surprise. It was Sue's birthday, but her mom and her dad were away. She was staying at Aunt Jane's. Let's try that again, Ms. Cortez. It was Sue's birthday, but her mom and dad were away. She was staying at her Aunt Jane's. She felt sad. Her birthday hopes shrank. Okay, I want you to go through that page again. Are there any words that if you had to read them on your own, you would have a hard time reading? Circle them. Okay, let's move on. Sue always had a birthday picnic with mom and dad. The three of them had fun. But what would she do with Aunt Jane? Okay, go ahead and read it to yourself. Are there any words there that you would have a hard time reading on your own? Circle them. Time for our silly supper, said Aunt Jane. On birthdays, I like to eat out of order. Circle any words. We will start with strawberry cake, said Aunt Jane. Then we will have pasta. Sue smiled. This would be a good birthday. Okay, circle any words from here that you might be struggling with. Okay, if you circled any words, those are the words that you're going to need to practice in order to become a faster reader. Okay, so remember at the end, you have to time yourself. You have to time how fast you can read the story while still making us, while still stopping with periods and pausing with commas. Okay, so we're going to read it one more time, but now we're going to think about these questions. So, what's the theme of the story? What's the message that we're trying to learn or that we're being taught in the story? We know that Sue, it was her birthday, and she had a tradition with her family, but what happens? Let's read it one more time. Sue's surprise. It was Sue's birthday, but her mom and dad were away. She was staying at Aunt Jane's. This word you could say aunt or aunt. It's not the ant like the bug, it's like aunt, like your mom or your dad's sister. She was staying at Aunt Jane's. She felt sad. Her birthday hopes shrank. Sue always had a birthday picnic with mom and dad. The three of them had fun. But what would she do with Aunt Jane? So, what was her birthday tradition with her mom and dad? What would they do? It says Sue always had a birthday picnic with mom and dad on her birthday. Time for our silly supper, said Aunt Jane. On birthdays, I like to eat out of order. Huh, so is she going to have a birthday picnic this year? No. We will start with strawberry cake, said Aunt Jane. Then we will have pasta. Sue smiled. This would be a good birthday. Okay, so she's not doing the same thing that she did every year. Now she's doing something a little bit different. She was worried, but did it turn out okay? Yeah, it did. It turned out okay for her, she says. This would be a good birthday. So I'm going to have you do questions 1, 2, and 3 on your own. We're just going to read them. It says, Sue was sad that her mom and dad were away. So you're going to match the picture. But these are clues that are going to lead to our theme. So remember, our theme is the lesson or the message that we're learning from the story. So Sue was sad that her mom and dad were away. Sue always had a picnic with mom and dad. Time for our silly supper, said Aunt Jane. So she was sad. She used to always have a picnic with mom and dad. And now she's going to have silly supper with her aunt instead of a birthday picnic. So what's the theme of the story? Use the clues to help you. So what do we learn? We know that we're learning about traditions. What do we learn about traditions? Now remember, a theme is a message that could apply to you, to me, to everybody. What do we learn about traditions? I mean, we learned what her tradition is, but in general, what do we learn about traditions? Can they change? And is it okay if they change? Yeah, she used to have one tradition with her mom and dad, but now she has a new one and she's okay with that. So we learned that traditions can change, and it's okay if they change. Sometimes, like the story we read yesterday, sometimes you mix the old with the new and they change. Okay, so now you know you're going to answer 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to time yourself reading like you always do, reading the book. Okay, when you're all done, you can color the pictures in the book. And then another thing you're going to do for me today, since we're on the topic of traditions, I want to know, what are some of your family's traditions? So you're going to put the date. Today is June 17th, 2020. And your sentence frame say, one of our family traditions is. So tell me about one of your family traditions. What's something that your family does every year that you guys have been doing for a long time? One of our family traditions is, and then down here it says, another family tradition is. So you're going to tell me about 2 of your family traditions, and then you can draw a picture to go with it. Okay? If you're not quite sure, I would talk to your mom and dad or your brother or your sister. Be like, hey, what's a tradition that our family has? What is something that we do every year or every week or every month that we've been doing for a long time? Alrighty. And that's it for your language arts today.